Welcome to the FitPro Lead Gen podcast, where each Monday we bring you a brand new guest interview. And today we have another big one for you. But before we do dive into this week's guest interview, I just want to say a big thank you to LeadDeck for sponsoring these shows. LeadDeck is the all-in-one platform that helps you generate more leads and get more bookings. As usual, if you want to join in live with these guest interviews and ask questions to the guests themselves, then come and join us in the free Facebook group. In there, you'll be able to join in with these interviews and find a load more resources to help grow your fitness business. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's dive into this week's guest interview. Hey guys, David here and welcome to the FitPro podcast. On this week's episode, we've got Paul Booth coming on to talk about all things branding and being the go-to business. Paul, welcome to the episode.
Thanks, David. Are you well?
I'm doing okay. We were just chatting beforehand and I said, I'm here in my office, nicely painted. And then Paul goes, well, I'm in my villa in Spain. So you beat us hands down when it comes to location. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the weather because it's miserable today. It's about 20 degrees and a little bit windy and bright sunshine. So yeah, Spain, that's miserable.
So literally just before we pressed record, I was in just my t-shirt. I thought I'll put this jacket on now because it is a little bit colder here. So Wales is freezing compared to sunny Spain. But before we dive into the kind of main episode, let's go a bit of a background. Who is Paul? How did you kind of get to where you are now? What got you into the fitness industry previously?
Yeah, so it's I'll try and keep it short because it's a bit of a convoluted story. But ultimately, I, at the age of 18, joined the British Navy. Worked with helicopters for 16 years. I spent 2 years in the Caribbean doing drug busting. So it was a bit like Miami Vice. It sounds like it was a real tough job. It was actually great fun. But so yeah, I've got a military background, so I'm quite direct. So I'm very sort of like strategy driven. But when I was 8 years old, I got sent to military boarding school. And so I went from military boarding school into the military. And then after 16 years in the British military at quite a senior position, I left. But what I didn't realize at the time is those years from 8, to the age of 36, I was basically learning to be a chameleon and understand humans, because when you're 8 years old, you're your younger brother going to a military boarding school, you've got to spend your whole time not getting beaten up. So you realize how you can manipulate, persuade, change situations. Therefore, you stop your little brother or yourself getting in trouble, or with the bigger lads and stuff. So, yeah, that was my story. Very military driven from the background. Never institutionalized in the military. I left at the age of, I say 36, I think it was. And at the time, I was playing rugby league and rugby union for the Navy. I was doing decathlon. I was very, very sports driven. At the time, just as I was about to leave, I did a Men's Health cover shoot, but my face is terrible, so I never got on the cover. But that was just purely because I got myself in shape for fun. Now, anyway, so to cut a long story short, what happened was I came out of the military. I just wanted to get out, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just sort of fell into the fitness space just because I was in shape. I was playing a lot of sport, and for me, I enjoyed nurturing people when it comes to fitness, like someone who's out of shape or was injured, and I enjoyed doing that just as a side sort of thing in the military. So I went to PTing, and really, really quickly when I was PTing, I was like, this isn't for me. But at the same time, the protein products on the market were terrible. This is like my Maxi Muscle around years ago, a Cyclone and that. I'm talking like 2011, 2010. And I wanted to make supplements for myself, basically. And that turned into a few of my friends saying, hey, can you get some for us? And then that turned into creating a brand. And we created a brand back in 2011, 2012. Within 3 years, we've done 7 figures. We'd blown up on basically on Twitter. That's how we grew the business. We were about to be acquired by bodybuilding.com, as a regional brand in the UK back in the day. And then we made some really, really bad decisions as a business as we were close to being acquired by bodybuilding.com. And that collapsed. Out the back of that, I didn't know what to do. I was a bit lost. I was confused. And, I didn't want to go back to PTing or go back into the military. And then there's a few people said to me, Paul, how did you build that business so quick and, carve your space in that sector really early? And so a few people asked me that question. I started to help them and show them what I did. And then basically from there, roll on what we now 9 years. I now consult brands from startups to brands doing, 3 to 4 million a month. And basically I just coach businesses and brands how to really connect with their target audience, because every business, if it doesn't connect with its target audience, then it becomes just a side thought. No one cares about it. So yeah, that's my backstory. So ultimately, military, very strategic kind of guy. Military boarding school, very young, came out in the military, started a brand just because I wanted to make my own supplements because what was on the market was terrible, and did really well, then did really bad. And then just from that, people asked me how I did it. So then I started explaining that, and then basically fell into consulting that way.
Nice. Okay, so before we actually do dive into the branding and the supplements and all that type of stuff, one thing that got me straight away was you finished the supplements, or that stopped, and then people started asking you, how did you do it? How did you know you were confident enough to coach people? Because I'm guessing a lot of people watching this who maybe are brand new to the fitness industry, maybe they've lost a load of weight, or maybe they've just got qualified and they don't have the confidence to coach people. Where did you feel like, you know what, I am actually confident enough to teach people how to run a supplement business or a brand?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'm naturally good at coaching anyway, because when I was in the military, I got promoted very, very fast. I'm not the smartest cookie whatsoever, but I realized that I could promote myself faster in the military by going doing certain courses. Now, one of my job roles was training chief, which means I was in charge of like 46 recruits that are coming through and coaching them on the helicopters. So naturally, I was good at coaching people. So like I said, when I was in the military, I was kind of helping people already get in shape because I was in shape. So my natural I'm a nurturer by nature. So I like helping people, and I didn't really know that was applicable to business consultancy when I was in the military, or I'm just helping family friends, or just helping the local mate at the gym when I was younger. So when my business collapsed, and because I was ex-military senior engineer, my brain was quite strategic, and I could look at what I'd done well, why it worked. And then I could work out what I did bad and why it didn't work. But based on the fact that I'm a natural coach, without trying to sound like an egotistical idiot, do you know what I mean? Because I was natural at doing that, then I found it easier to say to people, right, okay, this is what you need to do, and this is what you don't need to do. And I can see based on where you're at, this is where you need to be. And I'm looking at market trends and how the market moves. So, that nurture nature, that senior engineer, former training chief in the military, allow me to really understand how to train others or coach others. It's not really training. I believe coaching and consulting is ultimately showing what that individual could do if they took a different direction or open their mind to something different. No one's got anything new in the world to show off. They just got different ways of approaching it, and ultimately it comes down to the person's brain, how they perceive situations, how they perceive markets, how they perceive their target audience, or wherever it may be. If you can change the way someone thinks towards something, it can change a huge amount. So yeah, it was just natural. It's, again, trained in the military to coach and nurture people, and that's part of your job. When it came to losing my business, and then someone said, "Hey, Paul, can you show me?" I just used my strategic brain, which was like, "Okay, where you're at now? Let's fix where you're at now, and then let's look at how we go to step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step by step."
Nice. Okay. So like you're saying, you were coaching these people in the military and you're doing it outside, and coaching is talking to people. And then right at the start, you said you were trying to tell these kids not to beat you and your brother up at military school. So it is all about the way we communicate with others. What are some of the best communication habits or tricks or insights that you found to, how was a nice way of saying this, to convince somebody to do what you need them to do?
Hey, look, persuasion and manipulation are literally like a red line across from each other. Persuasion is manipulation. It's the same thing. Just people don't like to say manipulate. So I'd rather say persuade because it sounds nicer, but it's the same thing. When I first joined the military, literally the second week, I think it was, there was this big burly chief. He was like a horrible guy. Like he was like the one that was making us do all this horrible, I'm about to swear then, all this horrible stuff, when we're in the military playgrounds and stuff. And he just looked at me and went, "Booth, you got 2 ears, one mouth, use them accordingly." And I remember that from the military, but it's basically the best way to communicate is to listen more than you talk. It's always the way. So, for example, if you came to me, right, and you said, "Right, Paul, I've got this problem." Okay, tell me more about it. That's the first thing I would say is tell me more about it. Speak to me, explain to me. Because on my consulting calls, the first call is generally just them talking for an hour, the client, because I want to know what they're about, who they are, what's happening. And it's no different to, again, the fitness market is, if listen to what the person's telling you. Don't have an assumption you're going to try and sell them X. Listen to what they're going to say to you and listen hard. Because when you listen and you pick up keywords, then you can sell back to them using the terminology they've used, the words they've used. So for me, communication is all about listening. Now, I think the stats out there that 80% of human communication is nonverbal as well. I think that's right. Please, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I think it's 80% of human communication is non-verbal. It's not what we say. It's how our mannerisms are, how we use our hands, how our eyes are, how we hold our body language. So, yeah, to answer your question directly, it's listen more than you talk.
Yeah, it's like sales 101, like you said, when you sat with a prospect, listen to what they say and repeat it back to them. And the key thing you said there was the way you say it and the tonality and stuff. So like when we used to coach young kids to play football, we'd also be excited, motivated, enthusiastic with our voice tones. But then when it was serious, you just change all that and put a different type of voice over and they'd just stop instantly. So that's so important, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah, and I think, again, I'm not going to harp too much about the military, but being in the military and going to boarding school from the age of 8, you are dealing with so many different characters on a day-to-day basis. So how one person reacts to a situation is completely different to another person. So from a point of view of listening, and when I was, as a training chief, when we've got 40 plus recruits, each one of them's got different needs. Some need to be nurtured more, some need an arm around the shoulder, some need the stick. It's just, you've got to listen to them, how they talk, how they act, the words they say, and go, okay, this person is this type of individual, and I need to change the way I train or coach these people based on their needs. Like, I'm a very visual learner. So if you throw a load of books at me, textbooks, I'm not going to learn. I need to understand it visually, anything. So everyone's different. But the key is, if you just listen to people, if you listen, they'll tell you what they want. Right. And if they go, let's say, I want to lose weight, the first question you should ask is why. And I want to lose it because of this. Why do you want to lose it because of that? It's a bit like, I've got a psychology friend who says, pulling back those layers and asking those whys, you're still listening harder than you're talking. You're just asking questions to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And once you find the root cause of their problem, then it's easy then to sell or help or nurture them to where they want to be, because you found the block, or the block, basically their restricted direction to where they want to go. So yeah, it's listen, always listen more than you talk.
Nice. Okay, so let's break this episode down into two separate sections then. Supplements, I'm guessing that's going to be a massive one. Everyone's going to want to know how you got that and how you grew it and everything. But let's start with the actual branding side of things. So we're a studio, let's just base it on what we used to have. We're a studio in Cardiff, but around us there's like 20 other studios, there's like 20 other boot camps, there's all these big commercial gyms, and there's fitness everywhere. How do I, as a small gym owner, possibly stand out and be the go-to in my area?
Right. So the key thing is, this is one thing I say to a lot of people. If I shout 1,000 times a day how great I am, no one cares. If 1,000 people shout how great I am a day, people start caring. So it's, don't shout about yourself. So what do I mean by that? Now, if you're just starting out and you need people to talk about you, you need people, you've got to lean on friends and family and people you can get inside your box or your studio or your gym, whatever it may be, and get them talking about you. Even like yesterday, there's just a little gymnastics group that do stuff on the beach, and my daughter's a little bit too young to do it. And this guy who runs this, like 19 years of age, and he's got social media sussed. He's like, to all the mums that are there with their kids with gymnastics, he's like, hey, look, I'm going to give away a month membership to anyone who, as a competition for anyone who pushes, kids doing cartwheels on the beach, across social media. He's getting free marketing from this, and it's making up $4,000 a month. Sorry, dollars, euros, or pound, or whatever you want to call it. So the key is, you've got to use other people to make you an authority in the space. If you open a new gym, if you're a nobody, why would anybody care about going to your gym if you're competing with everyone else? Now, being a brand is being someone or something that connects to a specific audience. You've got to make yourself unique. Now, it can be your character. It can be the style of service you offer. It can be it could be that you're a CrossFit box, or you're into BJJ, or whatever it may be. But you've got to find a position of uniqueness. Brand position is about making your proposition better than what's available today. So therefore, people go, I might go and look at that gym or that box or that studio. I might go and try it out. But the best way is someone else telling someone else, go and check it out. It's always the best way. So the first thing I would do if I was opening up a gym is work out, okay, what's the area? Is there space to open a new one up? What's the demographic? What am I going to be offering to the demographic in that area? It's key parts. So it's not just opening up a gym or open up a box. It's, okay, what services are you offering? And does the demographic in that area want it? And is the demographic there for it? So there's lots of questions. Before you even think about opening a space up, it's who's in that area? What do they want? Why do they need it? And can I provide something unique and different that's going to position me differently to everybody else?
Nice. Okay. So we obviously need to get clients for them to start raving about you. But let's say we got the niche, and let's say we went with the niche that we were an over 30s small group studio setup, blah, blah, all the jargon terms. But how do I now portray my branding? What is branding, first of all? Let's really start. What is branding?
Right. A brand is a person or a business, how it portrays itself. Branding is just the colors, the cool little, like we've got here, like in the background, you've got branding material behind you, right? And you've got this blue back screen. That's like kind of how you're presenting your branding. Whereas brand is a connection between your target audience and you, or the business or the product. So best way, Coca-Cola is a brand, and their whole ethos and how they work is a brand. Their red can with white stripes is their branding. If that helps people understand the difference. So yeah, brand is super important. Brand is what makes you unique and different. A logo does not make you unique and different. Having red on your website doesn't make not you unique and different. Having a color code on your sort of color palette on your social media is branding. It's not unique and different, but what it does is it identifies your brand to people. So your brand is how you make people feel effectively. So
kind of like,
yeah,
when
Mike Thurston. So like Mike Thurston, right? Most people probably know who Mike Thurston is, or Alex Hormozy. They're brands. They're people, but they're a brand because people connect to who they are, not what they sell, but who they are individually.
Okay. No, what I was going to say was the colors. And would you class the colors as more important than the logo initially? Then, so people, once they see your picture on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, they recognize that's you by the colors more than the actual logo.
So yeah, let's take it as if I was going back into the fitness space and I had a unique thing I was doing. Ultimately, I'm the brand first. People remember who I am, the way I talk, the way I present myself, the things that I'm saying. That's my brand. My branding might be, okay, Paul has base colors of black and red. So when you see my website and you see my social media and you see anything that I put out there, any material, it has the same coloring. So it's congruent with everything I do. So hopefully at some point when someone sees a fitness poster that's black and red, they might think Paul Booth. That's how why branding is in line with brand. But most people think it's all of one. Literally logos mean nothing to people. If you're an individual brand, Nike, yeah, it's a big tick. We know what that is, and the biggest brands in the world. But at the start, no one cares about the logo. No one cares about the colors, really. They care about how you can change their life or how you can help them and what's in for them. So the best way I can describe it, and the best way you should think about it, your brand, as in you or your business, what makes that a brand is how it connects to the people you're trying to sell to. Why they should give a crap and care about your brand. Be it you as an individual PT or your business or studio, how does it connect? What do people say behind your back or behind your business's back? That's your brand.
Okay. So let's say we've got somebody starting who's relatively new on all this and they don't want to put their face to camera. They want to be a faceless fitness business. Is that a wise idea, or should they be presenting themselves as the brand initially and then slowly step away as they grow?
If someone is really camera shy and doesn't want to be the front facing, you're going to find it more difficult to get your business moving, because you're going to rely on other people to be the face of the business. Because look, people buy from people. People are connected to people. People like people. The reason religions are big is because people look up to this ultimate figure, and then other people around that communicate their message. And that's the same as a brand. A brand's like a cult. You know, it's cultish behavior. We got to. So if you just open a gym and it has no character and has no reason for people to give a crap about you, it's just a name of a gym and it's got no one on the front desk or it's got no one enticing people in, then it's going to be really difficult to get launched, because the way a new business gets launched is because a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people come down. A lot of people try and go the free trials out. But why would they try a free trial out if there's no character about the business? So you need to find a character, whether it's yourself or someone else.
Okay, so let's stick with that, because that's quite an interesting point then. So I'm quite confident, and I've got a team of 3 or 4 coaches that work for me. Should I solely focus around this one character, myself, or one trainer, or should I be getting the whole team to be popping up here, there, and everywhere so they see the whole team?
Yeah, as long as the team are congruent, as in like they're all pushing the same message and they've all got the same vibe. When you open an establishment up, you know, you got to have a vibe about it. So it's like my first question: if someone opened a new place up and they go, "I've opened this new place up," but why would it appeal? The key thing is, why would it appeal to someone? So you've opened up a new gym, great. So what's the difference between all the other gyms I go to right now? What's your point of difference? Before I even because like people, we only care about ourselves when it comes to like, why would I move gym or why would I move PT? The best one I ever hear is like hairdressers. Hairdressers are always arguing about, well, I want to go home now and do a hairdressing gig. And they're like, but I can't get new customers, because generally when women get the hairdresser, they generally don't change their hairdresser. So when it comes to an open new gym, it's like, why would someone move from one gym they enjoy? Because sometimes they just don't go to the gym because it's like got great equipment. They go there because there's a social aspect to it. They go there because they enjoy being there. So what would pull them across from there? So, okay, so your brand has to have a character. Your gym, whatever you're offering has to have a character. If it's about having really good people working there, then you need to get them out there and talking to people and showing that off. So then people go, oh, okay, I might come down and have a look. But then what is the uniqueness? Why would someone leave? You know, that's key to it. Sorry, there's a bell in the background here. It's put me off. I think
that's okay. Let's go into the part I really love about this whole thing then. We have a gym. The gym's been going for 2 or 3 years. But I walk into the local shop around the corner and say to somebody, I own the gym. And they've like, I've never heard of it before. Which means like content is what's going to get people to know about you. Yeah. But where do you even start with content? Because you've got all these social channels, you've got all these streaming channels, you've got all these video channels and audio channels and offline stuff. Where do you even start?
Start where your audience hang out, offline. So let's say, for example, you own a gym up and your target audience was 40-plus-year-old women. Let's say it was that. Okay, in your local area, where are these 40-plus-year-old women hanging out? That's where you send your stuff. And you go and hang out where they hang out. It's pretty simple. It's like if you're new to a town and you want to go and hang out with the cool kids in the town, where do you go to? You go where the cool kids hang out, and then you go and you try and then infiltrate their cliques and become one of them. So it's no different to a business. If you're a fixed brick and mortar business, you go to where your target audience hang out. It's no different when I talk to the people who have got supplement brands and they go, "Oh, we're targeting women, but we keep going to these like supplement shows and there's millions of brands there." Okay, well, if you're targeting mums, go to a baby convention with your supplement. Like, oh, right, I didn't think about that. So you go where your target audience are. Like, so if you know that every morning the 3 coffee shops in your town are buzzing with mums that have just dropped the kids off at school and that's your target audience, go and hang out at the coffee shops. Go and speak to the coffee shops and say, hey, can we put a desk in here, and can we, or whether it may be a pop-up booth, and start engaging with that audience. Get one of the mums, find out who's the big mouthy mum from the school and become friends with her. And then offer a free membership or offer to come down free PT, change someone who's in that niche, and change their body, do it for free to get, if you give away stuff, people don't start coming. It's people power. And that's how most businesses work. Most brands work on referral base, whether it's product sales, whether it's a fixed brick and mortar referrals, people come to your business. And then over time, you can dominate the local online traffic through SEO, through being found on Google, through ads, But again, where does your target audience hang out? Go to them. Don't wait for them to find you. You find them.
It's such an easy one, like you say. Offer them the free stuff. Whether you go to a hairdresser, offer that local hairdresser a free membership, because they're then sat every day telling their customers how great it was at this place, literally bringing you all these free clients in all the time. Okay, so we've got the offline sus now, go where the audience hangs out. But now we look online, yeah, we can say the same thing, where the audience hang out. But you've also mentioned you grew your supplement company with Twitter. Twitter isn't as big these days as, this is from my experience, I don't generally use Twitter, we're more Instagram and Facebook. But where should we actually be? Should we be on all of them, or should we try and stick to one, or do we just flutter around a couple?
Again, it's where your target audience hang out. Honestly, it's you got to know where. Let's say you got to know where your audience, and this is people go, well, how am I going to find out that's where my audience hang out, Paul? It's generally where they talking, where they making noise. And basically what I did is I knew that I was targeting, basically my summer brand was targeting the non-steroid users. Our whole thing was calling out steroid users, saying, don't listen to steroid users. They can't tell you how to get in shape because they're taking stuff, they're jabbing needles into their butt. They allow them to eat pizzas and eat crap and like overtrain and stuff. You can't do that if you're a natural, guy who goes to the gym. So we knew who our audience was, that, and we knew there was a big buzz of these people on and big large groups on Twitter. So we just went on Twitter and just engaged with people, just helped them. Literally, we spent so much time. So our brand wasn't focused around selling supplements, even that's what we did. Our brand was focused around giving away plans to get people in shape. So we would go on Twitter, we'd find conversations and people talking about getting jacked and this, that, and the other. And we'll go on there in our own tone of voice. And I'll be like, what are you trying to do? Like, I'm trying to get a 6-pack, but this, that, and the other. I was, hey, dude, we've got a really cool article on our website. And while you're on there, go and download our free 6-pack plan. And these 6-pack plans would be, being sold for like 60 to 80 quid, so we're just giving it all away. We're giving away all the content, all the plans, all the nutrition plans, all the exercise plans. We'll create all the plans. But inside those plans was obviously links back to our supplements, because our goal was to sell supplements. So we led with value and just gave away stuff. So online, where do these people hang out, and just start conversations? So it's kind of, I call it the stealth method. I teach it to the people who sell supplements and products online. It's you go in there and help people. And all your goal is to do is help them, get them to your website and get their email address. Because once you've got your email address, then you can literally show off testimonials all day long. We can't hope that everyone's going to see our post when we post them on social media. Whatever the platform is, whichever one you choose, people are not always going to see the content. It just doesn't, the algorithm doesn't work that way. But if you get their email address, generally they're going to see your email. If they like reading your emails, they're going to open them up. So therefore you're getting like 40 to 50 to 60% open rates on a good email list, right? So therefore half or over half of your list are going to see your content. Now, when you're sharing, testimonial stories, or you're sharing so-and-so did this in the gym, or so-and-so did this and that and the other, and you're sharing stories, you're kind of motivating people at the same time. And then you offer them a 7-day free trial for the gym or whatever it may be, or a free product, even product seller. And they try it. And if they try it and they like it, whether it's a supplement, whether it's a gym, what does it matter what it is? If you offer something for free and they like it and they value it, they're going to pay for it at a later date. And it's as simple as that. So the key word I would say is, don't try and sell on the front end. Try and lead with value. Even though you want to make money and you need money, you've got to think, I've got to give value first, so they then see the value in what I offer. Now, I say it's to people who sell products. The reason why people don't buy on a product page is because the value is not as high as the price. So when someone comes to your product page, the value of what you offer has to be so high that your price becomes irrelevant, because they want it. And the price doesn't affect them. But if the price is higher than the value, the perceived value of what you're offering, they don't buy. That's the same as gym memberships. It's the same as PT. If they don't value your offering as a personal trainer, they're not going to buy. The price sometimes is irrelevant, because most people charge in the same sort of brackets. But if they value what you do, and value comes from people saying you're great, people saying your product's amazing, authority, magazines, and it's just all the value comes from the authority and them liking you as a brand, you as an individual. That's a massive one. If they don't like you as an individual, you could be the best coach in the world who's got the best testimonials, but if the person thinks you're an asshole, they're not going to spend money with you. And that's just fact, right? And it's no different to your company. You can have the best beer in the like Bud Light right now, right? With their stuff being done in America, Bud Light and the woke stuff. They might be a great beer, but because they just did a really stupid marketing campaign, they've lost 3/4 of their audience and their buyers. So pretty much what I do with my supplement brand, we knew which direction we're going in and we're doing really well. Bodybuilding.com came along. We're like, you got to change this up a little bit. You got to make your products less transparent, a bit more soya in there, and you got to promote more steroid using athletes to look different shape. We started to do that. We lost our audience, and then I lost my rag and shut the business down. So people have to value what you've got to offer, and if they've never seen it before, never tried it, never got into your gym, or ever seen you personal train, they're not going to buy. Why should they trust you? They don't. You wouldn't buy yourself. Anyone who's watching this. So yeah, it's all about trust and value.
Okay, so I'm going to put a big but in here now. Then, but Paul, my audience is anybody. Anybody comes to my boot camp, big or small, no matter. Everybody comes to my boot camp.
And generally, I would say you got to niche down. But boot camps, why everyone going to your boot camps? Because they're probably either a community thing, is why they go there because they enjoy it, or it helps them all lose weight. So, but your boot camp has a objective. And if that objective aligns with someone's need, then people will go. But boot camps generally are community-based weight loss programs that people get a little bit healthier. So if your audience is focused on those three things, boot camps are perfect because you can promote the same thing all the time. People's needs are pretty much the same. Why does someone go to a personal trainer? And that's why when you have your first consultation or meeting with them, you have to ask them questions and let them talk. And they'll tell you why they need personal training. But absolutely, David, you're right. There is a but you can't generally target everybody. If you try and target everybody, you target nobody, especially online. In person, you can be, if someone comes to see you, you can sit down with them, you can listen to them, you can talk to them, you can get this thing going with them so you can start understanding more. Online, you haven't got any time to communicate and talk with someone. So you have to be more focused and niched and very clear. And that's why, social media and reels and videos is really important nowadays. It gets your character across. Like if your social media is no one talking on there, it's just pictures, no one cares. That's why you think most of the leading fitness experts in brackets, I'll call it, on Instagram are guys and girls that literally are talking all the time and showing their body off. People engage with that. Whether it's good or bad, it's what people engage with.
I don't have the right body to do that just yet. So
nor do I. I've been in Spain for too long, drinking too much red wine. I've got a bit.
So the audience, being niche or having a tag audience is going to make a huge difference to your marketing campaigns, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, it's variable, different ones, like David. So if we're talking about a gym, right? Most commercial gyms target everybody because it's a gym. People just go to the gym to work out. But if you're trying to come to a space and you've got lesser budget and you're going to open a small space and it's a personal training studio, you've got to think, okay, who am I going to target? Because, like I said, if we target 40-year-old women, right, and therefore we know all our marketing goes towards those 40-year-old women. So therefore, we can now focus different marketing. All our marketing spend can go, okay, where do 40-year-old women hang out? Where are they engaging online? Who are their friends? How can we create programs for them? What are their problems? What are their actual problems right now? They're not 20-year-old and they can eat what they want and get in shape. They're a bit older where, their metabolism is slowed down. So it's more focused. It's so important. Unless you open a multi-million-dollar gym, you need to niche down and focus more on a specific audience. Now, will you get a halo effect of people outside that niche coming to work with you? Absolutely. But it's like me when I first supplement brand, I was helping guys in the fitness space create supplement brands. That's all I did. I now consult in every single market you can think of because it's a principle of understanding where someone is and where they want to get to. It's because I understand how the strategies and understand ways of doing things because of brand and understanding the human connection and how you touch the audience. So Nike started out selling a waffle train to track runners in Oregon. Now they sell everything to every color, skin, person in the world. So niching down is so important if you're starting out. Look, okay. Even the body coach, right? He niched down at the start. He was very, very focused on what he was doing. It's just his food stuff on Instagram.
Right then, I've got another but for you. So you mentioned we need to be where our audience is, and you're spending a lot of time, like you said, with your supplements. You're on Twitter, joining these conversations and go into these cafes and restaurants and the places where your audience hangs out. But I don't have the time to do that. I'm coaching sessions. I've got other stuff to do. I don't have time to do all that.
You make time. You have to be, if you're trying to grow a business, you have to be on your business, and you have to have the expectation. And we kind of allude to this before the call, is that when you're building a business, you're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna have to work. So you're gonna have to find time to go and find your audience whilst you're doing sessions as well, and really quickly learn how to put a team around you that allow to help you do that. Because the hardest thing when you're starting out is I need to spend money on a team, but people can help you do stuff online, like virtual assistants and stuff. But as you're saying, Dave, right? Let's say you're doing 8 hours of PT in a day and you're trying to get more clients on board, you have to find the time. You have to find ways. There's people that can do flyer drops for you if you want to do that kind of thing, but you have to find the time. And sometimes, and most of the time, you're probably not charging enough money anyway if you're a PT. Most PTs don't charge enough money. And the reason they don't charge enough money is because they're targeting everybody, and all they're getting is the people that kind of can afford their position of what their price is. But if you really more focus and niche down and help a specific target audience, then you can charge more money.
Nice. Okay. So before we dive into the supplements, I've got one more kind of bone maybe to pick with you, and something we're seeing a lot in the fitness industry right now is nobody wants to give away anything for free. They don't want to give free sessions, they don't want to give free weeks, they don't want to give free trials. They just want to get paid straight away. What is your argument for give those free sessions, give those 3 weeks? It will make a huge difference.
Well, you've got to give value up front. You have to. If you think anyone who says I don't want to give away for free, right? They've not made it yet. They've not got money. So you have to change your mindset towards it. Don't even call it complimentary. Look, at the end of the day, you will sit down with someone for an hour for a consultation to try and sell them on PT. You sat there for an hour, listen to what someone's saying, talking back at them, trying to do all your best sales tips, and whatever it is to get them to buy your 10-pack of PT sessions. But you wasted that hour already. So just sometimes go, hey, let's just jump into it. Let's get you moving. Then as they're moving, talk to them. So that you've given it away for free anyway. So get them on for free. Just call it complimentary. You just got to give the value up front. Now, the value might be you're not giving away your time, but you're saying to someone, look, if you're not ready right now, what's your kind of goal? And they go, look, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose some weight. Okay, cool. I've got this like PDF online. Go to my website. It's a 90-day program. Go and follow that. If you've got any questions during that time, just drop me emails. Now, you're about to change someone's life with a program you've created, and it's kind of like towards anyone who's trying to lose weight. It could be, sexualized, male or female. You send it to them. So if you need any help, just drop me emails. You help them for those 90 days, and they get a massive transformation. What's the loss of that? They might come later and buy your PT, or they get a great transformation, and you get to use that for a testimonial on your social media. So don't always think you have to give people the time, but give them value. Give like shopping lists, things that you can that would change someone's life that are pretty simple. You create it once and give it away forever.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they can go to Google and get stuff for free. But they get it from you. They'll start trusting you more.
100%, and it just builds credibility, really. So let's move into the supplement now. My fitness business is going really well, and I've now got a load of free time, and I maybe want to start this side gig. Before we dive into setting up a supplement company, why shouldn't we set up a supplement company?
Why shouldn't you set one? You shouldn't set it up if you can't be bothered to run it, basically. But look, so the key is how does an individual make more money? You sell more. So you sell more stuff to the customers you've already got. So if you're selling, let's say you've got 10 clients right now, and they're paying you $400, keep saying bucks or whatever, Americans all the time, £400 a month, right? So you're making $4,000 a month off those customers. And you're going, I don't want to work any more hours than I'm working right now, but I want to make more money. So how do I make more money from the customers I've already got? Now, those 10 clients trust you, listen to you, do everything you say anyway. So you can create a product that that, like I say it's a protein powder, or let's say it's protein powder. Let's use that as a sample. So they all take protein right now. You'll recommend them Optimum Nutrition already. Whoever the brand is, you recommend that to them already. So why recommend a brand to someone and not make it yourself? And now make that money. And they go, okay, Paul, I'm now using your protein products. I love it. It's amazing. But I wish you did like a fatty acid or an omega 369 or whatever it may be. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can get that. I can make that for you. Now you've suddenly gone from they've gone paying you £400 a month. Now they're paying you an extra £130 a month for your supplements, and you're making £70 pound from each one. So now it's 10. That's extra $700 a month from starting a supplement brand. Now you've got those products online. They're going to tell their friends that can't afford PTing, but know their friend PTs with you, and they drink a protein shake after their workouts. They go to the gym themselves. They start buying your protein shake because their friends recommended it because it's really tasty. It tastes nice. It's better than that Optimum Nutrition crap. It's got no sucralose or whatever it may be in there. That's why PTs. And then what happens is you start to build a business outside of time for money. You start to sell them other stuff. Like you could go into selling them gym equipment or gym apparel or whatever it may be. That's why you don't have to start something business, but nowadays it's so easy to start one. Why not just create, you can buy them in small batches, buy them, and then make sure your customers buy them off you. And then the other PTs in the gym, get them to sell it to their customers. And that's how it all starts. But it's word of mouth. And it's, your products have to do what they say. Otherwise, why would someone refer it?
Yeah. So a reason not to start a supplement business is if you're not going to put the effort in. Reason to
absolutely. And you're looking for a quick fix. People, nowadays everyone's looking for this masterful quick fix to make millions. It's not there. You've got to be right place, right time, right opportunity, right person to say, hey, but even then, there's still a couple of years of work behind someone making a lot of money. We were doing 7 figures a year, right? And I was working my ass off. I was pretty skint at the time because all the money's going back into the business. I had no free time to myself. It was a nightmare, but an amazing learning experience. So it's like, people think making millions, you're going to make it all in profit. You're going to be driving around in cars and balling. Most people are around on internet balling with fast cars and hot chicks, all faking it anyway. So it's all nonsense. It's all hard cars. They're all in debt. It's all on credit cards and personal loans. I watched a thing yesterday. Listened to a thing yesterday, and there's a couple in the US that are $1 million in debt. And they live in the baller life on Instagram. $1 million in debt. Nuts. But anyway, so you've got to work. But ultimately, what's your goal? Do you want to be a PT? If it's PTing, do you want to be a PT your whole life, or do you want to build a business around that? If you want to build a business around that, you have to create a brand. Therefore, you can recruit other PTs to do, so many hours for you, and then sell products as well.
So I am willing to put the effort in to get this thing off the ground and get it moving and everything. But how do I know how much time I need to have spare? Do I need to be able to put 20, 30 hours a week, or do I need to be at a certain income level, or do I need to have a certain client base? When do I know I'm actually ready to now give this a proper go?
So it's right. First, we've got to find a manufacturer that you like. Because what people got to remember is that you can get overexcited about, and I'll bring about the basics, David, really. It's like, you got to understand what do people want from a product, not what you want. Because I could create the best supplement product in the world that I want, but if no one else gives a shit about it, no one's going to buy it, right? So, okay, what is the biggest complaint most people have about protein shakes? They taste like crap. People want to, so our supplement shake we had, our protein shake, 100% whey, tastes like a McDonald's milkshake. Now that sounds like, why would you want it to taste like a McDonald's milkshake? Because people like McDonald's milkshakes. Yeah, they're crap, but they taste amazing, right? So our protein tastes like that, and that was one of the referrals we got, is it tastes like a McDonald's milkshake. So people bought it based on that, and it actually was a quality product. But ultimately, first is it could be a quality product, but if it tastes like a dog's ass, no one's going to drink it, right? So it's got to taste good. So the key is, okay, right, I found my manufacturer. I can get 20 units each time I want to buy, right? So that's 20 tubs of protein. Now, can I sell that in a week or a month to my current clients? Yes. Okay, cool. So you don't need much time. You just need to be able to find a manufacturer, get a label created, and pay the money to get the product shipped to you. And that's all. Then you hand it to your clients. If you start that way, if you start with a very close niche market, as in your clients, and say it to them first, they will start referring, and then you go, oh, right, now I've got a problem because now I've got to sell 50 tubs a month. Now that means I'm going to have to start moving the products. Wait there. That means I'm going to be doing more hours. Initially, you're going to be doing more hours. But the whole point is you're making more money. And at some point, you're going to have to either hire other PTs, build a business around your PT brand, or you're going to have to give it up and just sell protein. So there's always that balance. But the starting point is just start. And don't worry about the amount of hours you have to work, because you're going to have to work a load of hours, and you're going to miss out on your mates' drink stews, and you're probably going to miss that out in some of your kids' life, and you're going to do way too many hours. You're going to be stressed out. You're probably going to put some fat on. Do you know what I mean? If you don't want that, don't do it. but recognize where you are. If you want to be successful in business, you have to do the stuff that most people don't do. And I know it's cheesy, but it's the reality. If you're happy with 40 grand a year in earnings, then stay there and see your family and have time and pay your bills and have a nice holiday once a year. If that's where you want to be, stay there. If you want to make more money, you have to work harder. Over time, you'll work less because you've put the things in place and the business in place and the strategies where you can work less because you've got processes that are doing it for themselves. But until that point, you've got to work harder. You're not going to get away from it.
Paul, you've been telling me that your supplement business was like 6-7 figures, and you must have had all this amazing branding and setup and coolness. But I found somebody, and they're just giving me basically a tub with no real logo or label, and I think I'm no designer expert. Can I just get away with bog standard to begin and then build, or do I need to have this amazing branding first?
You want to have amazing branding first, of course you do, because if you're not attractive, how do you expect to be attractive to anyone? So how do I do it? I taught myself Photoshop. I tried a couple of different designers when I first started out, and they just could not get the idea I wanted. So I just taught myself Photoshop because I knew what I wanted. So I spent probably a good 3 weeks doing ridiculous hours a day trying to learn. And I look back now, and even then, my Photoshopping was dog shit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was amazing because I wanted my brand to look a certain way. And even though I did kind of like baseline it off some of the top brands out there already as like because that's what people like. So I kind of sort of people are buying these type of brands already, they look this certain way, so therefore they must like it. These are the best selling brands doing millions a month. So I'm going to base it off that, but do it in my way. And you just got to think about it, and you've got to be dead honest with yourself. Never ask family and friends to critique some design work you've done because they're never going to hurt your feelings. Ask someone completely independent like me. And if it's arse, I'll tell you it's arse. But I'll tell you it's arse in a way so therefore you understand why you need to change it. Because, but you can start off with the basics with just a really crappy branding. It's going to change over time. But to get yourself started, if you're selling just to your customers, they're not going to care what's around the tin. They're going to care what's in the tin. But what most people have when they start a new business is analysis paralysis. They go, okay, they either go, I want to look like the best brands in the world and can't afford the graphic designers to do it, or the branders, or they make it look like a kindergarten kid just created it. But at the end of the day, most manufacturers now have an in-house digital team. If you just tell them what kind of vibe you want, they'll create it for you and just accept it for what it is at the start. If you are just selling to your customers at the start and a few friends, it's not a problem. If you've got a massive marketing budget and you're selling to thousands of people out the gate, then you want a brand that looks strong.
Nice. Okay. So one more question on it then for you give us the questions that we think we missed. How much do we go in for pricing then? So I'm only buying a small stock every now and again. Do I go high straight away, or do I keep it really low just to get the numbers in? Kind of how does the pricing for supplement work?
Always go low. Always go high and discount. Because if you go low, then it's going to be really hard to go high again. So you have to go, okay, what are people spending right now today on the products they buy? So let's say my target audience, or my clients, I should say, are spending between 30 and 45 pounds a month on protein to get like a kilogram. I'd sit myself probably on the higher end of them, because I would, again, this is my knowledge now. And I did it back then as well. We priced it higher so we could go lower through discounts. But it's how you communicate what the product's for. It's not just a protein powder. If you know why your target audience drink it, or your clients, I should say, I keep saying target audience because it's what I say all the time. If your clients are saying they take it for a certain reason, you just got to, you push it on that. They trust you. You're the authority. They're already training with you. You could tell them to go and buy the crappiest protein in the world, and they'll probably go and buy it because they trust you to give them what's best for them. So they're going to buy it anyway. So you just pitch it kind of where they're at already, and you could put some more on it, but you just discount it down. The reason you do that is because if it's on your website at, let's say, £50, you can then use discounts, to help you, push someone over that value price position. They value your product, but 50 is a little bit too much for them right now because of cost of living crisis. But if it's 40, I'm in. There you go, 20% discount, they're in. They bought it, and you're still making a profit. So never go cheap. And the same with PTs. If I was a PT back today, I would find out who's the most expensive PT in the gym and be more than them, and then position myself a better value. Because once you go cheap, you can never go back up, and then you're in a spiral to the bottom, because then you go cheaper again because someone else is a certain price. You'll go cheaper again. Inflation goes up, years go past, and you're still charging $30 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like you can't go cheap. You got to understand your value and just and stick it there, and then and generally people like things that are more expensive. Doesn't mean they'll buy it, but they like it more because it's more expensive. There's a perceived perception of value on it. You know, like if the PT was 400 a month and I'm like 600, like why is he 600? Why they ask themselves the question, why is he 600? What's different about Paul? What? Yeah, they won't know. Yeah, but they're going, why is he six? Is he just a scammer just trying to take £200 more off someone? But they'll question internally, why is he? So they think there's something more better because I'm charging more. So it gives you an advantage, charging more.
Okay, so to finish, any questions you think I've missed on branding and becoming the go-to that maybe I should have asked?
Anything you've missed to be a go-to brand? The key is, right, I want to get people to listen to, whether you're a PT, whether you're a business, whether you're selling supplements, whatever it is you do, you got to give people a reason to give a crap, or I usually say the F word, but give a crap about you and your business. Why are you different? What's unique, right? You know, why should they care? But ultimately, what's in it for them? Because a business is all about them. What, you know, their needs, their desires, their wants. Yeah, if you understand them, like we said at the start, you've got 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them accordingly, listen to more than you speak, and you'll find out why. So when someone goes, I'm like, why do you fancy doing personal training? I want to lose weight. Okay, why do you want to lose weight? They go, because I'm feeling rubbish about myself. But why are you feeling rubbish? You want to keep going down, down, and down, and find out why they feel that bad, what the root cause is to their problem, and then you can sell your services, which are basically going to be a solution to their individual problem. Because weight loss is just what they think the problem is, and it might be a confidence issue, whatever it may be. There's a root cause to why they want to lose weight. When you find that, and other PTs or any gym owners that that don't ask that for members, you will position yourself differently straight away. As long as you align, and that's why if you're always targeting, let's say, 40-year-old women, you'll come across a very similar problem all the time about what age they're at, where they're in their life, what's going on with their personal life, the finances, the kids, etc. It'll allow you to position your services or your products specifically to them. So then the value of what you offer is up here. It's off the roof because no one else is offering it that high. No one is offering the value you're offering because they don't understand them. If anyone who makes us feel like they understand us makes us feel good, makes us feel like you're safe, and that's a hierarchical need. It's like Maslow's, Maslow's. I can't remember. It's like what we need as humans. There's 5 things, and one of them is like being secure. And if people we think people know us and they understand what we need, then we feel safe. Therefore, we're more likely to purchase from that person. So yeah, that's the most important thing. Listen and sell back to people what they've told you. Nice, and that's your unique position. Yeah.
So for anybody now who's like blown away by branding and like, oh God, I need to get my branding sorted, or I'm interested in starting a supplement company, how could people potentially reach out and have a chat and learn more about what it is you do?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. My business is referral. So literally just find me on Facebook. You'll see my personal profile. I don't talk that much about business, but I've got a couple of groups. I've got the Brand War Room, which is a new group I've created for literally people that are trying to brand themselves or brand their products. I've got a CBD brand group as well because I'm heavily involved in the cannabis space in the US. But yeah, find me on Facebook and then go from there. And you'll probably hear me making reels about nonsense. I can help you change your business.
Nice. Paul, appreciate your time today. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully we'll get you on, I don't know, maybe later in the year or next year to kind of go over through this again and learn some new stuff from you. But no, it's been great. Appreciate you coming on today.
No, pleasure, dear. Wherever this gets posted, if people put comments below and I see the post, I'll respond to them. I'm happy to help people all the time for free. Just if you ask me a question, I'll give you a straight answer all the time. Perfect.
Cheers, Paul. We'll speak to you again soon.
Pleasure, buddy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on another guest interview. Each and every Monday, we try and bring you a brand new guest interview to help you grow and scale your fitness business. As usual, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe below. And if you want to watch these interviews live and ask questions, then come and join us inside the 3 Facebook group. I'll speak to you all next week. Cheers.